Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to today's episode of Talking Point. In our studios today, we have an artist, a painter, a writer, and a filmmaker. She is originally of Bengali descent, Bangladeshi descent, but she was born in Manchester, educated at London School of Economics, and she has been living all over the world and contributing to her chosen field of filmmaking, writing, and art. Welcome to the show, Sanchita Islam.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for making time for us. I know that you may be suffering from jet lag, you have been traveling all over the world, and that's why I said that you are from England, but you live all over the world.
Yes, I think so, at the moment, yes.
What brings you to London this time?
Yes.
I know you are from London, but you are based in Brussels and Kuala Lumpur these days.
Yes, I have a base in London as well. Yes, well, I have a new book out, this book.
Yeah, we'll talk about that book later.
Yes, and but that's what brings me to London, because I had my book launch yesterday, and I also have an exhibition of the same title as my book at Rich Mix, and there will also be my play on Friday.
Based on this book?
Yeah, inspired by this book. The whole theme is art, motherhood, and madness. So interesting subject matter.
Right, right.
Yes.
Can I have a look at this?
Yes.
And I'll ask the production. Okay, all right. This book, Sanchita, schizophrenics can be good mothers too. And I see that you have used a pseudonym, not the usual one. See,
well, it's a variation of my name. My name is Kazi Sanchita Islam, or the English pronunciation of my name is Kazi Sanchita Islam. But my name's actually Sanchita. But yeah, I used a thinly veiled pseudonym.
Right.
Because when I write about issues related to the mind, I use this name. But it's like a puzzle. It is a variation of my name.
Great. Yeah. See, absolutely unbelievably brilliant. That's a remark by Stephen Fry.
Yes. He's a friend of mine.
Great. It's a well-known personality in art and media and everything else. See.
He's been incredibly supportive.
Great.
When I met him at a party in London, and he just looked like a noble tree. Very tall. And I just went up to him, said hello, we talked, he gave me his email, and I've been in touch with him since 2008, and he's been like a mentor.
Great.
I've shared my art, my writing, my poems, and
he's a very humorous person too. Yes,
I often used to think, why has he stayed in contact with me? And I took him out for lunch for oysters in a restaurant where I've done the artwork.
Right.
I have a big tab at this restaurant in London, Mark Hicks. He has all these chains of restaurants. I've done the doodles in their restaurants. So yeah, but he's been very supportive. I don't think he was the one. I sent the first essay to him, the first 3 essays, and he said they're brilliant. He wanted to publish them on the Mind website, because he's president of Mind.
Mind, yes. We take a few steps backwards.
Okay.
And in 1999, you founded Pigment Explosion, see.
Yeah.
And then which branched into branched into film, painting, drawing, writing, and photography. See. And obviously you went to LSE and you studied BSc in International History, MSc in Comparative Politics, and MA in Screenwriting and Directing. You were sponsored by Channel 4. Now, what is this pigment and Pigment Explosion?
Yes, well, basically I was doing an exhibition and I was told that I had to be present. You know,
Was it Whitechapel Gallery?
No, this was a different one, but it was on Brick Lane.
Right.
It was at a place called the Brick House, but that's not it's not a space anymore. I think they've turned it into a restaurant. Brick Lane's unrecognisable. But the person who was organising the exhibition, he said you have to be present because people will want to talk to you.
Yep, to ask questions.
So I was thought, oh God, I don't want to go. So I thought, oh, I know, I'll bring my paint. I'll bring, you know, I'll work. So I was sitting, working. And then people seemed to be more interested in me painting than the actual artwork. So then I had a eureka moment. I thought, oh, okay, what if I do live painting with live music and, you know, live projections and also have art? And so it's like a big party. So Pigment Explosion started as an organisation to do live art events, and then it evolved. The thing is, my path to becoming an artist is a very unconventional one. Being Bangladeshi, second generation, my parents were first generation, there were no role models, there were no other, you know, established artists here.
Yeah.
You know, they had to pave their way. It was very difficult. And they, from an early age, probably from the age of 4, I wanted to be an artist. I knew this is what I want to do, but they didn't understand it. Because
who were they?
My parents. They let me do it. They never stopped me, but they couldn't
They didn't
fathom
want you
it.
to make it a profession.
They just didn't comprehend it. So they didn't really encourage it, but they didn't stop me. But then as I progressed, you know, I was quite academic, and of course they would have preferred me to go down the academic path. And actually that's very common, that a lot of Asian parents, even if their children are autistic, they prefer their children to go down the academic path. So I was in conflict. I had a place, I went to Loreto College Moss Side, which is in a very insalubrious area of Manchester, and you know, you'd go to the little shop and there'd be glass and like blood, you know, you had to be very vigilant. But I wanted to go there. I chose to go there because I wanted to go to a place that was a sort of like a microcosm of society. I wanted, you know, even then I was quite political because I thought I don't want to be spoon-fed. If I deserve it, I'll get ahead. If I work hard, I will be rewarded. So then I got into Oxford, had a place at Oxford, and so my parents were delighted. They were delighted. Oxford, you know.
Over the moon.
Yeah, but I was a bit ambivalent because I was just following what my parents wanted. Because if your parents are happy, you are happy, right? Yeah. So, but all I ever wanted to be was an artist. So, but then I was in the library studying Hamlet's soliloquies, and then a man appeared from nowhere and sexually assaulted me, and then everything changed. That was like the first trauma to my brain. I was innocent teenager. Then, you know, I lost weight. I had like a mental block. I couldn't remember things when I was studying. I probably that was the first time I really suffered what could be called as depression, you know. It had a profound impact on me. I actually wrote an article about it.
It would on anybody.
Yeah, but I wrote an article about it in the Huffington Post, and you cannot believe the response from people. Some people were very empathetic, but then other people said, because I wasn't raped, it didn't count as assault. Assault is assault. It is a violation. And when you're that young, it's deeply traumatic. So something changed in my brain. Something broke in me. And then I dropped a grade. I was supposed to get 2 A's. I got 2 A's and a B. I dropped a grade. I lost my place at Oxford. I never told Oxford what had happened to me. And then, you know, I didn't know that I could have actually talked to them and said, this is what happened. They probably would have made a concession. My parents didn't know. This is the thing, when you're first generation, second generation, you're finding your way, you know, you're making your path. So then I did my art foundation, because then I had a moment where what am I going to do? So when I was doing my art foundation, then I did printmaking, and I was immersed in art college. But I felt, oh, I've disappointed my parents, and parents are going to be so, you know, I failed them. So that's why I applied to the LSE. Not because I wanted to, because I thought, oh, LSE is the second best, so I'll go there. And so then I basically studied 2 degrees that I didn't really want to study. I'm very interested in politics. I'm probably going to the LSE. It honed my analytical skills and made me a good writer. It made me aware of global politics. And you know, the articles that I write for the Huffington Post, I write political articles, but they have art, you know, paintings within them. I mean, who sees that? It's just
what sort of topics do you choose to write about?
Politics, mental health. You know, I wrote about the recent election. You know, the elections
in this country.
Yeah. Because
what was your take on that?
Well, yes, I have never voted because and it's more like a political statement, not because I want to be like Russell Brand or anything, but because despite my interest in politics, I think there's a feeling of not really ever being part of British society or counting or having a voice that is heard. I've met many politicians, I've met many famous people, but there is a sense of you are there and we are there, and you can never be part of the club unless you play by the rules. So I feel like you have to create a kind of parallel system. You have to wage your own insurrection. You have to work outside the system in order to influence the system.
Did you also feel that it was more of a gentleman's club rather than ladies?
Yes, I was friends with Tony Banks, the politician, and he would take me into Westminster, you know, and I would see Gordon Brown, or once I saw Thatcher, you know, I'd see all the politicians, but there was a feeling that you could never be part of this world. But now, look, there are 3 elected Bangladeshi MPs. I wrote an article about that. But I actually wrote to my Bethnal Green MP, Rushanara Ali. She didn't respond. So that's my whole point. That is my exact point. I thought it's going to be different, you know. There's some Bangladeshi MPs, but it doesn't change really, because there isn't that relationship at a grassroots level.
Because you're not a constituent.
Yes, I am. I paid taxes.
You don't live in this particular area.
Yeah, I lived in London, in Bethnal Green. I still have my flat. I still pay UK taxes. I still come here, but I'm a nomad now.
When you write to your MP, they do respond. There's an automatic reply there, and
I tweeted her. No, but she doesn't know. But I still pay my taxes here. I'm still a British citizen. I'm like, you know, it's temporary. I'm a nomad. I'm just somewhere.
I'm not trying to justify you, but what they do is they usually respond to their own constituents first.
But I am a constituent. I only recently left, you know. But she didn't know that.
True.
She didn't know that.
True.
So, but that's my whole point. You know, that's my whole point.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about politics. But yes, but I write about all different types of topics, and the reason why I write for the Huffington Post is because I directly tweeted Alistair Campbell, because he writes about mental health, and then through him he introduced me to the Huffington Post. So that's how that has happened. But now I have a platform for my voice and for my views.
True.
But back to the evolution of the artist. So basically, while I was at the LSE, I was still painting, I was still drawing. I didn't realize that while I was at the LSE, it was probably setting me up to become a writer. You know, actually, I wasn't meant to be the writer in the family. I always thought that my middle sister had the talent in the writing department, but she didn't want to pursue it.
Yeah.
So I felt I had to do it, you know. And so I worked at the writing, but the art was something as well that I had that in me. It was a kind of compulsion. But after I left the LSE, you know, it was a very difficult time, because, you know, you want to be an artist and you've lost 4 years doing these academic degrees, and probably the ordinary path would be to go into law or something. But I went into media, so I worked in television for a while. And then I realized once when I was working on the South Bank show, as I would look out at the panoramic view, I'd be drawing like automatically while I'd be like doing my research work. And then one director said, "Oh my God, if you can draw like that, what the hell are you doing working here?" And I looked at her and I thought, yeah, she's right. You know, what am I doing working here? So, you know, that gave me the incentive to leave. I mean, I got down to the last 16 for the BBC production trainee scheme. So, you know, if I'd made it to the final 8, I could have gone down a different path.
True.
You know, and it was the same with the Channel 4 scholarship. I was doing all these placements for TV, and then I heard.
Sanchita, here we take a commercial break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we will definitely talk more about this and your experience. Okay. Thank you, viewers, for being with us. And don't go away. We'll be back soon. Thank you.